Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my home kitchen. Don't mind the dishes, it's life. Hi. We don't have a dishwasher. I'm the dishwasher. So I love your guys' input on what you're wanting on YouTube, what you want to see done, and a lot of it is like, okay, practical everyday herbalism, which really leads me to film a lot of these videos in my home kitchen where I do my everyday herbalism for myself. Right now, because I'm pregnant, I'm not doing a ton of tinctures, but I am every single day drinking a mix of herbs as an herbal infusion. And herbal infusions are one of my favorite forms because you can mix all your tinctures into the herbal infusion in your water bottle, and you're essentially adding plant vibrations, plant nutrients, antioxidants, all sorts of good stuff from a plant into your daily water intake. Herbal infusions are a little different than a tea as to where they are going to be stronger. So you add, for like a tea bag, we'll get to tea bags in a minute, but a tea bag's worth is like a teaspoon or two of herb plant material. Get some flavor, sure you're going to get some herbal chemicals in there as well, but what you're really going to get medicinal benefits from is doing like an herbal infusion, which is what we're going to make today. So this is my pregnancy herbal infusion, and the stuff you'll need, I have two pestle and mortars that I use all the time, and this one is what I use for my herbal infusions and like mixing, just like mixing plant material together. So it's really smooth. It's a smooth surface pestle and mortar. It's much larger. You're not going to be like really getting after the grind and stuff. You're just looking to kind of break up, if you're using at-home stuff, break up any sticks, break up any large leaf materials, and then you're kind of just mixing the herbs together. So you want, a smooth, large bowl, pestle and mortar. I like using a pestle and mortar because you can then add your energy medicine, your prayer medicine into the herbs as you blend them together. And I find that to be really therapeutic for my nervous system, but also bringing in intention like for the week. Bringing in your energy, your love vibration into the plant material, that's super huge. So we're gonna mix like my week's worth, essentially fits in here, which is nice. I do this every week. So you take your herbs, you put them in the bowl, and you mix them, and it can change. What I love about this is it can change all the time. Lately with this pregnancy, I've really been wanting rosebuds. These are not grown by me, but the rosebud, like that beauty medicine, drinking her in, slightly astringent, which is nice, but I've been really wanting that this pregnancy. And then hibiscus I love sometimes, and sometimes I don't. But the nice thing about keeping all your herbs separate at home is you can blend what you need medicinally, but then you can also add or take away whatever you want by the week. So like after I have the baby, we'll start adding things like rosemary and cloves and anise and fennel, stuff for lactation, stuff for making sure I'm getting all the calcium from my food that I can, which is rosemary. That also is really nourishing for the brain, which, as those of you who are mamas know, brain really suffers at that time. So you need your pestle and mortar, your herbs, and I use a French press. I love these stainless steel ones. They don't break, and the stainless steel has a whole nice metal element to it, and I love it. So I have a French press designated for tea and then another French press designated for coffee. And this is the one I use for my infusions. And of course you need your water, which is boiling. So let's just talk about the herbs since I have them here, and I'll tell you what I'm blending for my pregnancy tea. Nettles, number one, super nourishing. All of the micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals you could ever want are in stinging nettles. And I drink them every week, all the time. Really, pregnant or not, I'm drinking them. Stinging nettles are like a survival food. If you keep a jet boil in your wilderness backpack in your pack saddles for one reason, and it is to get in and out of an emergency situation, you can do that with nettles very, very beautifully. You can get enough energy from here. You get some fats, some proteins when it's in full bloom, and it's really nourishing. So it's considered a survival food. There's also chlorophyll in stinging nettles, tons of chlorophyll, tons. So you're getting a nice passive detox. And when I say detox and passive, I really mean passive. You're not gonna feel it. It's not like, oh, I'm taking these pills that are making me run to the bathroom every 10 minutes. Stinging nettles, chlorophyll is not that kind of detox. Chlorophyll just helps your blood, helps your liver really, goes into your blood and filters out toxic junk, whether that's from your environment, whether that's from your thoughts, whether that's from metabolic waste, from hormones being processed, what have you, any toxicity going on in your blood. Heavy metals, the chlorophyll is going to leach onto that kind of stuff and take it right down to your liver so that you are clearing your blood. This is especially important for pregnant women, women who are cycling, women who are going through the hormonal fluctuations of life, because it's really helping your blood to reset to a baseline each month that you're going through these hormonal fluctuations, which is so awesome for women's health. Next up for me right now is fireweed. I love fireweed. It is not an herb that is well known or people aren't using it as much as really you should be. It's a perennial. It grows like wildfire. It follows wildfires. It grows like that. It just takes over these wildfire brush burned areas and forests, and it helps to reestablish the base layer of a forest. So your fireweed comes in, it shades the soil, it's allowing other perennial herbs that are more slow growing, like your roses and your elderberries and your currants and your raspberries, stuff like this. It's allowing a canopy for them to get established so that then they grow and become the shrub level of the forest, and fireweed slowly gets displaced. But you can't hurt this stuff. You can harvest and harvest and harvest it like you would your perennial flowers at home. And I love fireweed for its medicine. Is very, very supportive to your inflammatory responses. So cooling someone down who is flushed, someone with rosacea, someone with a really angry liver, digestive constitution issues, it's going to help simmer down those inflammatory responses that are chronic. Now, I really believe in the idea of inflammatory responses being a healing phase. So it's not for taking that fire away, but it is for cooling and balancing and bringing back to homeostasis an inflammatory response that has been going on way too long, okay? Quercetin, powerful antioxidant. Vitamin C, tons of vitamin C is in fireweed. So you're getting all these nutrients and that really nourishing inflammatory response addition. Next up is the classic red raspberry leaf. This for me, I take all throughout my pregnancy. And after, and during my cycle when I'm not pregnant. I take this all the time. It is a uterine tonic. if you're taking obscenely high doses of it, so like if you were to do your infusion with just red raspberry leaf, you could get to that point where you're stimulating your uterus. But adding it to the tea, to the herbal infusion blend, it's not even a main ingredient. Well, maybe it's a main. I believe the nettle and the fireweed are the main, and then this is probably the next one down. It is only strengthening your uterus when you are taking mindful, small-ish to medium-sized doses every day. And I swear by this stuff. I have never, if you're feeling like early pregnancy, if you're feeling uterine contractions from raspberry leaf, you're taking way too much of it. You want to go down to like a tiny pinch of that is in your daily mix, okay? Part of a at-home labor induction is a very, very strong, so like all of this, all of that raspberry leaf into your French press, and you're drinking that. That is a lot of raspberry leaf, and I don't even like to say to take this by itself when you're in early stages of pregnancy especially, but taking it all throughout is so supportive to the uterine lining being strong, your uterus muscle being toned, everything being just solid and strong and sturdy, which is what we want while we are growing our babies in our bodies. And so I got into rose a little bit, and hibiscus. Hibiscus is really tasty. It's got a, as you can see, that those of you who understand phytochemicals, it's super dark red. So we're getting tons of antioxidants, vitamin C, good stuff like that, that's supportive to our systems, especially our immune responses. I love it, but it's also just really tasty. And then roses, she's like an astringent herb if you want to get into the technicalities of her. But rose for me right now is really beauty medicine. It is that feminine, wonderful energy. I've been having like the need to be in my own space this pregnancy, like really keeping it to myself, keeping it to us, the family, like holding correct boundaries for your heart at any given moment. And that I find to be a really wonderful component of rose buds, if not just the tasty floral beauty medicine, support of the divine feminine, all sorts of goodness comes from rose. So that is my blend right now. Yeah. So let's get into mixing, shall we? Well, you guys, I didn't hit record. Apparently my phone turned off. So I just kind of lay my herbs out in the mortar. And what I like about doing it this way at home, I don't measure anything. I just kind of section like fireweed, nettles, little bit of raspberry leaf, and then my main like flavor and beauty medicine herbs are in here. So you just kind of, you eyeball it, right? And that's what's super nice about doing things at home is you can just eyeball it, and the apothecary I have to be like incredibly regimented and on my recipes all the time. So I just like to have them laid out all like in a spiral. Yes, that's on purpose. And then when you're mixing, like I already kind of broke up the rose hips because I didn't realize I wasn't recording. Whatever, I'm getting used to this. It doesn't matter. So we want a heavier hand on the rose buds to really get them broken up correctly. But those of you who use a French press for coffee know we don't want, and then we'll just give the hibiscus a nice little crunch. We really don't want super fine. And because the fireweed is like processed by hand, it doesn't have, there's a lot of stems and stuff, and same with the nettles, so we just kind of break that up. But my hand, like it's gotten a lot lighter as we've come over here, and then the raspberry is just fine. So they're all pretty much ground up, and then we just mix them with our hands. And I was saying I am going to get the hibiscus, and roses are getting established, but hibiscus are going to go into the greenhouses because they're zone 4, which is crazy to me. I love that. I'm like, yes, 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 please. So then just kind of blend it. Watch for any sticks. Like, I don't like little stems like this going into my infusions. It just doesn't feel right. So I take them out. Yeah. And sometimes, like, if I haven't hit the fire, if I was too late on the fireweed, like a couple of harvests, I was pretty late last year. So there's some seed fluffs that I've been picking out. So pick out stuff that you don't want in your infusion. No need to be super picky at home unless you're insanely particular like I am. But that's beautiful. And it's all blended. And it's gorgeous. So, those of you who know me, I have jar rules. I save all jars of a certain size. Otherwise, I would drive Mac crazy, my husband, with how many jars I would have in here, in this house. So I have rules, because then I'm not a jar hoarder. I don't have messed up energy around my jars. So, there's that. We're just kind of putting that in there. And like I said earlier, this mortar holds like pretty much a week's worth, maybe 7, 8 days, maybe 9. I think it's like 9. So that's kind of nice to have a whole week's worth. And then, if I'm like feeling like the end of pregnancy, I might bump up the raspberry a little. Stuff like that. Okay, so I've got my hot water. Oh no, that's so weird. It's too low. Sorry guys, still getting used to this, and I'm not editing that out because it doesn't matter. I am a real human after all. So, yeah, I love these freaking Adam's peanut butter jars. I know, like, peanut butter, so many people are so afraid of the mold, and I'm not afraid of the mold. Yeah. So, I love their jars. They're extra wide mouth. They're extra large, and it's great. And their labels come off super easy. So, it's about half full. That's a week. It's a lot of plant material for sure. Yeah, it's a ton of plant material that this takes, but it's worth it. You get tons of nutrients and stuff that's biologically available to your body. I don't care if you're going to argue with me about this, these are multivitamins. Like, you are getting plant micronutrients, you're getting vitamins and minerals, trace minerals out of the plants, and you're concentrating it and you're taking it daily. This is a multivitamin. Like, I am all about butter. I am all about lard. I'm all about animal fats for those, and they encapsulate the minerals and vitamins into your body. So, like, when you're eating a nice, happy balance, you are getting everything you need from plant material, animal fats and proteins. When you're in balance, some people need to detox from eating crappy animal fats and crappy proteins, okay? There are always exceptions. Like, this is not a hard and fast rule, except the fact that this is a multivitamin. Animal fats and proteins, when they're really wonderful, they're with the earth, they're grazing, they are from a farmer that are the best source of food-made, fat-soluble vitamins and minerals, making this kind of stuff that much more potent. So this is I'm not taking a prenatal except liver. I could not, for Sawyer, I ate all the liver. I was eating liver pate. I was eating it raw. I was eating it every single day, no problem. This one, I'm like, I cannot deal. I've had so many food aversions, it's driving me a little bananas. But liver capsules, like the New Zealand grass-fed, really good stuff. That's what I've been taking for my multivitamin, and then my herbs and greens, and I take a greens powder because I don't eat enough greens because I don't like to deal with chewing them. Yes, it's true. I don't. So I just know that about myself. And I just go ahead and take the greens powder. It's this one over here, because I believe in this company. They're small like me and mighty. Vitamin O Greens from Health Force. I take this stuff. It's well worth it. I take it all the time and it's great. I even have Mac taking it. Yay, good job, hubby. Anyway, back to the infusion, our multivitamin infusion, pregnancy tea, strengthening all of my vital organs. I'll list the herbs in the description because why not? And I have tons of fireweed. I don't have really any of these other herbs for sale, but I have tons of fireweed. So if you want to source your fireweed for me, please do. I'll link the fireweed in the description like a professional. Okay. So, okay. We have our French press and we have our herbs. I just take a nice pinch. Can you see that? This is awkward, isn't it? A nice pinch like that. 1 and 2. That is your herbal infusion. I don't know, will it let you see there? Yeah, it will. Okay. So that's how much plant material we are looking for in the French press. And I usually do this at night. I didn't have this mixed up, which is why I'm doing this video today. So usually I do this at night and then it sits through lunch the next day because I'm regimented. I have my protein mineral water in the morning. I have my herbal infusion with my greens and my vitamin C, which is rosehip oxymel, in the afternoon. That's my water regimen while I'm pregnant. I'm drinking like a half gallon plus maybe a quarter, 3/4 of a gallon of liquids a day for hydration. And that is for pregnancy. Like, you don't want to urinate out the minerals. So doing more than that is, I don't like that because it feels like you're losing more than you're gaining. Anyway, so this, I do it when I'm doing the dishes. I'm boiling my water for this. And then I get the French press. I get the herbs in the French press. I prep our coffee for the morning. So normally this would be done at night, but it's going to be extra strong because it'll be like, well, it's afternoon right now. So you just pour the water over your herbs and there it is. And I really love these French presses because they have little screens, right? They have the press part and then the bottom has a little screen at the mouth. So you really don't get plant material in your water bottle. So that's great too. So I think that is it for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I feel really funny talking to myself in my own kitchen, but I know I'm talking to you guys. It's just getting used to it. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be doing these weekly. I'm committing to it. I know I'm not out in the public in our community a lot at all right now because I am a stay-at-home mom who works and has a farm, ranch, husband, and operation to be a part of. So yeah, letting Enchantment Creek thrive, being there for my family is the most important thing right now, and I still want to be there for you guys because you guys are very important to me as well. And I just want to say I will be here once a week. I would love to know what you guys think. Comment, share, do all the things that you do. Subscribe for YouTube. And please support Enchantment Creek. I will link products below. Please support me in any way that you can. A couple of announcements. I have started a clinical training program for the new biology clinic. I am so excited to add this to my toolkit. It's really helping me frame the energy medicine component of herbalism, nutrition, lifestyle into a beautiful package to offer to you to work one-on-one. And I am so excited about this program. So it's just going to help me dial in how to work with you guys most efficiently. So do get on my email list because I am going to be launching availability for client one-on-one work this summer, sort of like what I did last year. We were doing the intuitive garden sessions, which were freaking mind-blowing. Even for me, I was seeing women that I don't know who are referred to me by other awesome women in the community. And the intuitive channel of, well, that I've been cultivating, but also I feel that comes from the garden and the land that I'm tending to, is really powerful. So I am really excited because I struggle with like just giving you guys an herb to take when you have chronic issues going on, because an herb is going to help you. It's going to help for sure. It is not going to be the end all be all. That really bothers me because that's more like allopathic, westernized herbalism. First aid is one thing, but I really want to really help you guys heal. And we'll discuss that more as it gets closer to those launching. I don't want to go on a complete tirade into that, but anyway, thanks for being here. I'm honored to be your herbalist. Support your local pharmacy with an F, pharmacy with an F. And I will be offering these videos weekly. I'm really happy to have you here in my home kitchen, making herbs like I do as an herbalist. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you.